All
Okay, a busy month. With that, we had the SRF closing on July 29th. Okra released the funds for the Okra grant application on August 4th. So we were able to get into those funds accordingly. Pre-construction conference with SRF and all contractors was held on August 12th. We coordinated with Cosme and Peacemaker on the new building on August 12th as well. They are following up with the drawings with the electrician you guys have. Basically finalize all that information out to get everything set accordingly with the wastewater project. Make sure everything's in place with spark conduit and all that. Let's see, we also met with Jim Moyer, the county surveyor with Amy Road, to determine the scope of the work of the projects. The only one that they see it qualifies would be that section over on the Acme and Harrison Street. So the next step is to go to the development commission and the drainage board to see what they can assist. I do have those on the calendars to attend, and then I'll follow up sitting on invites to the councilors on those dates as well.
What proportion of that how are you talking about?
That will probably be the portion within the municipal boundaries.
Pardon?
The area within the municipal boundaries.
You're talking about the county owns that piled in that?
That's everything that's in Gaines County owns that section there. So that's what we're going to look for assistance on.
And also
They'll have to upgrade that for you. Project's getting ready to kick off. With that, we are scheduling groundbreaking. Any questions on the wastewater project? Release for exploration on community crossing grant funding. This is road funding. They have changed their protocol. Go ahead.
Before you move on,
Yes.
kind of unclear regarding cost of this project, that there may be savings as we go along, and how do we identify that? If there are items.
Sure.
Or
so the first
downside, how
there's areas we don't know on the sewer portion of the project. Okay, number one, where is the iron to? So part of the first scope of the project is to clean the sewer and then camera the sewer to help identify those areas where we think the ionite or the stormwater is getting into the system. That's going to help us narrow down the scope of work. So if we find areas that are in great shape and we can eliminate those areas but target other areas or do point repairs, that scope of work should potentially reduce the overall scope of work. Now, Claypool has plastic sewer. Put it back in the right, roughly 91. So why are this all this and not? Is this as simple of an old abandoned house and the sewer ladder was not properly plugged off or retired appropriately? That very well could be the case. And that's what we're hoping for.
So, Chris, I guess my point was, how does that get evaluated when we find it or don't find it? And who's responsible for designating reduction in cost if we find
Well, the cleaning of the sewer and the cameraing of the sewer is going to help us identify that scope of work right now. And that's really the first course of action. Clean the sewer, identify the sewer, and look for any type of roots coming into the sewer, an old abandoned lateral, which they'll be able to pick up in the camera, and or some area where we think there's a big course of water coming in. I know we discussed over on Harrison Street quite often that you guys think that's a potential for. But that's really the first scope of work is identifying that. What's going on in the system.
that would be the biggest probability for cost reduction in the project.
Yeah, yes it will.
Camera 100%.
Yeah, the heat.
That tell us anything's wrong and what money we got available for it. That's obligated to certain places we may not have to spend. Because if the camera's something and there ain't nothing wrong, we ain't gonna spend that money.
So there really isn't anything might be done. Correct.
Well, the reduction would be the collaboration with the county over on the Harrison Street. What's the value associated with it and how much they want to participate with the town. That's going to be a huge win accordingly on that. So right now, that's really the big one on the stormwater. The sewage is basically, I don't think the town's ever cleaned their sewer. It's been a while, if you have. So you basically clean the sewer, and hopefully we can identify where those iron issues are coming in. And the way it looks, and my coordination with Danny, is that it's probably an open pipe. Meaning, if we have a big rainfall and there's an open pipe somewhere, no one's seeing it, and this is letting all kinds of water in. Would that be a good assumption, Danny?
It would be,
Yeah.
Fine.
With the volume that you're seeing.
because it's clear water and it's a full 8-inch tile, so.
How's it getting in? And hopefully we can narrow it down with that scope, that cleaning process and the cleaning.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that.
No, it's a great question. And you typically, when you have a plastic sewer, there's not much to go wrong other than it's probably installed and a bellows hole, or there's an open pipe there somewhere that no one's seen.
For example, we just had 2 inches of rain, doubled.
Double the flow.
It did.
We'll know if the camera, we'll know everything is wrong. Because they're cameraing the whole system, so we will know every flaw there is.
Well, we're hoping to find it with this.
Well, camera, you ain't gonna mess with it. I mean,
Should be able to see it, and it should be able to identify hot spots.
it's down every main town.
Go down into a little bit more.
They'll look at all laterals as they go down.
Any more questions?
No.
Okay. So, we've been staging the community for community cross grant funding for the last year and a half. We had MACOG come in and develop an asset management plan, and we had to fine tune a little bit with some of the information, and then did a scoring on all the roads. They call that the Pazer rating. And it identifies 1 to 9, the conditions of the roads, 1 being worse. Most of the scores in the community were fairly low. With that, this is an opportunity to step into this grant funding, which is 80-20. It used to be 75-25, meaning town pays 20%, and grant funding pays 80%. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to step in with some of your projects that just need a mill and pave, which really doesn't take a lot of engineering. But it also stages you for other opportunities in the community. Replacing your sidewalks in those areas that are going to be paved, plus the reduction of old growth trees in those areas that are going to be paved. And that would also include installation of curbing, which is more of your more expensive projects, which requires a little bit more than matching fund that you guys would be looking at. A lot of communities will come in with it's your MHI fund, Pat? MHI? Is it MVH fund? They'll allocate so many funds for road repairs a year. They'll take that fund for this matching to improve the roads. Okay? Now, with this new process, before they were doing 2 allocations a year, now they're going down to 1. And for 2026 in real projects, you'll have to have it submitted by the end of October 2025. So it's coming up here pretty quick. And then once that point happens, July of each year is when they'll have those applications submitted for the next year. So they've stepped away from the 2 a year, they're going down to once a year. In this first year, you got a short time frame. It's coming up here in October.
You said July of next year, for the year?
That would be for 2027. Mm-hmm. You want road paving through this grant funding for 2026? We need to have the projects identified and the application in by the end of October of this year.
For the application.
That would be for the application, and here's how the process works. We really need to identify how much matching fund you guys can afford. If it's $10,000 worth of matching fund, we need to do $50,000 worth of work.
And
Let's see. But most of the communities I work with, they do small projects every year or every other year. And 5-10 years, you'll be amazed how much work you'll take.
That's included in that storm drainage too, right?
Storm drainage is included in with that. And there's 2 processes you need to think about this. Some of it is pretty simple. Okay, you're doing a mill and pave. Storm drains replaced, and no sidewalks replaced, no cutting of trees. Basically, no engineering involved. So at that point, all else willing to do is the paperwork to get you guys in there, and a drawing, which is minimal expense. And then when you guys do need the bigger project, the storm sewer replaced or the sidewalks, where it requires engineering, and then we add the engineering associated with that. We give you an estimate of what that's going to be. That is not included with the grant funding. So if you have a project has to be here, at that point you need to adjust your dollars accordingly to meet those engineering needs. But it's pretty much upfront of what those costs are going to be. So with that, if council wants to take a look at a few roads and basically Danny can reach out and say, hey, these are the roads that are the worst, and then you guys identify what your match is for this year, and for this be for 2026. And then at that point in time, we can do an estimate of what it would cost for you guys to have Commonwealth do the paperwork or any engineering that would go with that. So it's not like you're gonna get blindsided with great big engineering built into this, you know, right from this. Or maybe, I mean, the application, this is no pay, it's a big deal.
So if we would get in by October 25th, July, the next we get in for 27th.
It would be 27, yes.
So we know what we're at with this wastewater and everything in our funds, we don't know.
That's really what you guys are at, is you got a lot on the plate right now, and all of this is staging for some of the worst roads. Do we want to touch them up this in 2026? That's why I bring it up.
The survey that, the LTAP survey, who did the survey?
The Pacer rating?
Yeah,
Yes.
Hancock did that.
Yeah, and Danny and I updated that here this spring. We got you all up to speed on that as well.
So they scored the different streets, roads and streets,
Yes.
according to their, what they saw.
We went off that initial study, and then Danny and I went through and looked at the condition of the roads here. It was this spring.
We should have looked at it. I know I said that all the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Look at one.
Yep, did it, that's okay.
Well, we can take a look at that, each of them, the condition of the roads, Pacer rating, and then, with that, basically my next meeting, you guys want us to take a hard look and give you a cost on it, we can do that, or we can carry this over to 2027 road projects.
When you say cost, you're talking about the cost from Commonwealth to do the.
If you want us to manage, basically do a drawing, do the bid process, accept the bids, review it, okay, pretty minimal cost. There's no engineering associated with that.
Yeah.
And that would be for like your mill and paved roads. One's no curbing, no sidewalk replacement, no stormwater. But if you got a point where I need a stormwater drain that needs to be cut in here, and I need some site drawings, okay, now that's more engineering work. But we will want to collaborate with some of the other duties, sidewalk, replacement, hopefully grow that community.
So we wouldn't have any kind of estimate, going in until we got estimates from individual contractors as far as how much money we're looking at.
Yeah, what we typically do is we do enough road projects through the year, and we have good estimate of what the cost is going to be for, you know, mill and pave. And then, well, we always want to make this, you know, the contingency associated with any of these projects. That way, the town doesn't have to fall back onto their own funds. Because if you get to a point where the project costs more, okay, that's going to be the town's responsibility to take care of. And Don, I've had one community that they came to us 2 months before the application was due. They had a stormwater project. It's just, guys, there's no way to get a survey out here and get this thing drawn up. There's no way. It's not gonna happen. You know, this first go around, this could be a very expensive project. Just do a mill and pave, update some roads. And you guys are thinking long term, your bigger projects, where you want to upgrade. And you get a bill for it. Yeah. Good night. Thank you.
Great.
All over the bid. The count the quote that we have in the building, which would be the electrical, HVAC, and the plumbing. We have River Bridge, they responded with all three. HVAC and their plumbing. River Bridge, the electrical board, $29,250. Plumbing board, $18,000. HVAC, $13,500. That's a total of $1,400. CES, their electrical bid came in at $20,000 even. But their HVAC and their plumbing that they farm out to Core, Animal, they $8,000. Which, that's, well, that totals $100,000. That's all the bids from all the contractors. Yes. My outlook, we're very good. They're electrical, electrical. That's not. Yeah, they bought like for electrical river bridge. But in the city. For the home product. Money. Yes. But darn. What's the thought we talked at the beginning that this be extended for building and small meters. All right, it's quoted with River Bridge as the thing. In lower, there is a small element in there, which, if necessary, that you got down low enough, heat the blower, you know, be in there and keep when you, so it'd be small, that small flare. 18, is that was plumbing, yeah, 18,350 with one. That's all. I mean, there's your get everything stuff out, dredge it over the water from the building, bring it over to or out. Three down 14.
What said your break up, yeah.
Speaking there was the electrical bid for 1,000 and they did but they were way high, $80,000.
So, the basis for their bid is based on the actual drawing from Stewart project bid.
To an extent, Danny and I met with all these contractors. Some things in that print was deleted. Because there was over the budget, a lot of things didn't need there. Cost effective, cut things down. We removed part of the wall, didn't need to be there. You know, they had 12 outside on the building, which didn't need just stuff like that. So, oh, So we did go over the entire grant with what was needed and what was not needed.
So then what work does the AC cover? Overall building, is that for doing the whole building? That's their air. The air conditioning.
No matter.
Oh, I thought you said HVAC. I thought that.
Well, that's, yeah, HVAC.
Right, but it does not have fluid.
What about homes for setting figured in over here?
Holman is,
He's already, we already done.
right.
So he's gonna do all his driving. I mean, that's about,
That was done, especially.
that's already, sorry.
Right. So the only thing left was the mechanic. Then I'll figure out what we need here. My suggestion would be you speed the electrical. Use for plumbing. Fair.
Well, CES is 20,000 for electric,
Fair.
and the plumbing for the bridge is 18,650.
Correct.
And then where did you get the rest of that?
The heating, the stir and fire.
13,000.
Possibly get together. Some funds for that, take 150. Also fund getting back to the project. The funds getting correct used.
We went. Okay, one of these prices with continuing on the funds.
Is there any portion of the electrical that has to be installed before the concrete's poured?
Well, all the electrical and the plumbing have to be exposed before the.
Okay. So there is electrical that has to be poured.
Correct.
And that until end of September, and then they start with their floor.
The building itself, and probably looking at this.
When they're starting.
So, the floor.
You said that. That. You get already got that funds back in the building. So what other funds is there besides their CD bond?
Well, there's, might be slow funds coming back all the way too. The, and work done. on whatever the left, whatever was.
But the conversation with the county,
Well, sure.
yeah, so we don't know what that number looks like, but they may just give you cash, not quite sure, pay for the engineering on this, we'll determine that as we go through this process.
Well,
What about the fence?
so the fence, I only had one of these, but this thing. Here is the blueprint of the building with the door that's up in there. The fence now comes right along through here. I'm gonna show you. So it's 54 feet here to here. Up that fence out. What would be her fence over here? Cut the second fence out. Turn and run from here where the fence is, corner of the building, where the fence is, corner of the building, which opens this up. The main bring that straight back in, so that there's plenty of room to get into full equipment. If not, when the building's built and a 4-foot approach, there's only going to be like 15 feet here in the fence. So anyway, to do the fence work also on the north side of the fence here, there'd be a 12-foot gate where it can be opened up, where a person can still drive in and drive the rest of the way back, like you can now to where the old building is, where you can still get in. That estimate is 4,200 for all the fence work plus gate. So I guess if you add it all up together, you're 56, 150, 56, 3. What?
Sure. What? We've got it covered as far as from funds that we have available.
I think so. And follow up on Chris and when he was talking about getting information on the electrical. I've already gotten that information from CES. I spoke to him today. He spoke with Ben. They got that together, and the applicants doing the same. Putting equipment on the pan that we need to be able to look into what. So that's been taken care of, and as far as the blower and all that problem. So his bid, so it was being them to do that.
What? So the cost.
costs up for the county for bill, what? It's very, very well included in the state. But I've already thought that's for the county. There's nothing that we need to do there. No. Nice one. Farms.
I make a motion that we did from CDS for electric for the maintenance building and the mechanical, HVAC and plumbing bid specifically from River Bridge. And the fence changes necessary with fence.
Then,
All in first.
Contingent.
Anything on that?
Actually,
Supposed to be forever, it's supposed to pay. And that's last year, that was gonna happen.
well, there's another time too, railroad. Something been done one time ago. Mark.
Just all turn it over to this gentleman, so you're gonna have to ask him.
Yeah. Talk, like, time. Lose balls. If they actually decide, well, we can do it. I know he won't very want that.
I just wonder, you know, if we find out that we can get a public relations person involved, then we try to schedule some sort of meeting, and meeting minds, so to speak. So we're not chasing it all the time. I mean, it's a constant thing every year. Like, same comments every year. They just don't do their part, but, and I realize we're dealing with the railroad, which is railroad, the government, more or less. So, anyway, that's why I was hoping that if Trevor got a contact, start pursuing that. Setting up a meeting with them, so we might go around this thing.
He is employed by no means. You guys know?
Yeah. I was hoping he could, from his inside track, find a connection that we could get something done a little more efficiently than what we've been doing, so.
We got a second meeting on email, we gotta prove that or something, for this Thursday.
No, I can't either. I didn't hear back.
5:30.
It's 7.
It's already been. Wake up. You're thinking. You ain't saying that.
Yes, there is an executive session. It's for 5. Department heads, Danny.
Do we have a sidewalk policy in place?
Yep.
Where is it?
Good question. They can tear out the sidewalk, either if it's grass, or put it back, the town would tear it down with the, all the debris away, the sidewalk, I think is what was in the thing that we wrote up one time. Remember they,
I don't think we ever did one.
I mean, that's probably 3 on one time.
I think we talked about it in a meeting.
They can even,
Sidewalk, right?
or put it back a sidewalk, and we would be, take care of the debris, they weren't seeing that, so.
No. Yeah.
But it's the fact that
Something you might want to look more that's done.
Yeah, because I've been asked by neighbors, what's the sidewalk, you want to know the town is going to help with the portion.
And that's what I said a long time ago, whether it's in writing, don't know.
I don't ever remember seeing an ordinance. I know we've had several people come to board meetings.
We suggested that's what we do, I think we was paying for half the time, I think they, we.
But we want to.
Well,
Had to tear it
right, in fact,
it is on tree lawn ordinance or statute. When not,
That's tree line, yeah.
so apparently we assume that because it's part of the tree line, which is a homeowner's responsibility to maintain, then if it needs replaced or repaired, it's homeowner's responsibility. I guess that's kind of been the understood way, but whether that should be refined and written down and made into policy, our policy. I would that's connected to, but I've never seen a copy. As far as the tree line issue,
I mean, that's how it was. I mean,
I was told that was the state.
it's town property, but property owners are responsible for the tree line. To the center of the road from the back of the sidewalk, where it's their property all the way up to the end of the road. But if we were down through there, we'd upgrade like stormwater, like the stuff on the community crossing grant, and do storm drainage stuff, we would be putting it in, not property owner, tear out the old trees, whatever, if we done stormwater, sidewalk, and the road at the same time, but that's down the road, and near cost higher than just resurfacing with mill and paving. So I don't see that happen for a while. When we started the main hub, work our way out. And we already had the main tile in, going to the ditch. That's where we take care of it.
Majority. Maybe nice big at all.
Well, down the road.
So, what do you want me to tell him?
About the sidewalk deal.
Yes.
Well, until we decide something different, put it down in writing, I guess that's the thing we had, is what we decided years ago, I remember. Town will not pay for the cement.
Correct.
They would take all the debris away, put it back as grass and that, but we'd have to make a decision on that and get it down in writing, if that's what was said.
So are we gonna table it then?
Well, I mean, one of the actually put it in writing, if that's what the board wants to do, if what you were talking about, that we'll take care of the hauling, the debris away, but the homeowner's expense more, but see, if we all three want to agree to that, that's no reason why the problem could,
I think that was the agreement. Yeah. Agreed. Take care of the full of the debris.
So the homeowner is gonna be responsible for tearing it out,
Right.
putting it back, and the town's gonna haul it away. Okay.
So until we decide there's something we need to get written up, that'll be. But that's going to take some review with whatever state statutes are in place about tree lawns and that responsibility. That's all we ever went, was that there was a state statute that.
Well, so what I'm getting,
Unless the town writes their own ordinance different from the state statute, which you can't, you could, I mean, we could say, okay, place a sidewalk. But I'm talking about how we bundle this.
so in other words, we should have a policy in place before I even go on this guy's property to move into stuff, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Just asking.
I'm saying, we all.
right? Ron, look at this,
get over the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Another question, what become of the tree and the insurance deal down here, something about a tree on the house, something about whose insurance was, I heard some email about it a month or two ago. Do you know anything about it? The emails, it was the house right over here. And a tree fell on it, I see somebody cut a tree, they was trying to figure out whose insurance was covering that, and I told them that our insurance wasn't, we could get a hold of it, that it was property owner's insurance and covered that fall there. So I don't know what it become of it.
Did not see.
Think something about it, where now.
I thought church.
Somebody said something.
Sure. False.
You had to get hold of our insurance company because before our insurance was not paying, homeowners responsible for that tree fall. It was across the road on a car, took it over the house. It's property owner's insurance, our insurance would cover, that's what happened before. Right? Right down here, or Texas Street, up railroad, 15 years ago, our insurance had nothing to do with it, and property owner take care of that. So that's what they think.
Sure it is.
Good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Speak. I have wine, bread, tea. Do you want me to just let me know when you bring it back next month? And then I'll bring the chicken ordinance back for you guys. Well, and in the meantime, I'll talk to somebody between now and the next meeting about the tree line stuff.
Pat, Mr. This one, we actually voted on this, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes. Last for copy and some.
Sign this.
Yeah, so I can resend it. Maybe.
So.
Sure,
Sorry. You do that. First. For paid by India.
Make.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Paying copies.
Came out just. One and two, I guess. I thought there was a third party, we was taking money out of somewhere else, the second one and two to pay for that. I know we talked about it, had to do with that in a TIP meeting to cover it. And I thought we'd get money somewhere else, and I didn't get anywhere else. Paid him on it, paid him on it.
Or maybe there was another, that we were talking about.
Yeah, they're out.
To do with that out.
That couldn't be different.
Right.
This here we could,
Correct.
but I thought there was a third money somewhere. Done?
No, it doesn't.
All in favor?
I've named the ten strategic plan committee meeting and one, if that went on.
But that,
And what was the result? That,
Not a whole lot, I mean, this month. We're going to have the first week of October. Yeah. We're going to establish what we think is the most important, and then we'll send it out and see what order they would like to see it in.
I didn't see about the committee until about 8:30 that night, and everybody that had the committee, did anybody have a committee, or is everybody there on this committee? What's the deal?
Yes.
Is on it.
So that we separate lots on it, I don't think it's like.
Maybe this. Don, maybe Sean would say, or Bob Conley on there. He's not listening. Stephanie said. Trustee. The trustee.
is work.
yeah, her,
I forgot her. She was one of the ladies that. Jessica,
Jessica,
yeah.
she,
so, did they take any notes or?
yeah, they did, and we're gonna.
Yeah, none of them.
What's,
Well, I've seen it.
well, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, you talk about ponds.
You can sit by me.
What? It's perfect, yeah, and we can make a bad one. We gotta have some. It used to be a long time with a big park.
Maybe Janet should know.
You know, volunteer for the strategic planning committee.
What?
If you'd like to volunteer for the strategic planning committee. Use that against. Okay. We could use your input.
One of the people, there have been these 4 people that have moved into town that stopped and said, that is so pretty that we can see it. And we have a lot of young people out of the beginning. I would say there's 14 to 15 walking every day. And we need to hang on to those people, and we can't do it. The way the Main Street looks, and the way people grass everything is. It's something that
Say from my standpoint, though, Calvin, we can move a little bit farther down or on some enhancements. I know there's some potential with the park thing with the Deco Foundation, as well as through the strategic plan, doing some more enhancements, at least with the pond and getting the water level up. That's going to be an engineering issue because the drains have to be changed. I think changing the fence, or at least painting the fence black, getting rid of the barbed wire might be another step. And we need stone put back in. It's all eroded down into the basin. So there's a lot of little things, but it all adds up. So I think it could be a valuable asset. And we talked about maybe a little gazebo with benches where people could sit and take a rest when they're walking, that sort of thing. Just some things that would really make a difference. People's perspective when they come into town. So thank you, Dan, for all your work that you've been doing for years.
well, I've been on that. Oh, I know it can look better, but it doesn't.
Oh. Steve, no. You, it happened.
And then, so the a year, growing up, porch, well, there, and the bring silver and or
September 16th. If there's nothing else, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Back.
All those in favor, say aye. All in water,
Stuff there.
or
Okay. Trump. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and the salad, yeah, there's a project right there, isn't it? Nobody's wanting to get home.
right.
Yes.
That would be down. That's that again.
What's your address?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.